This movie is about a young Iranian boy named Ali Jahani, who deals with a lot of challenges while trying to chase his dreams in a society that often pushes him aside. The story takes place in the 80s during the war between Iran and Iraq, with the United States backing Iraq. Ali's parents are concerned about their son's safety and want to keep him away from the chaos of the war, so they decide to send him to the United States. Before he heads out, Ali's mom hands him a special keepsake, a key to remember her by. Ali finally makes it to California after a long trip and settles in with his uncle Hafez. Ali's new life in America is tough. On his first day at school, he encounters racism from his classmates. The war between Iran and Iraq has led many Americans to view Iranians as enemies, and some of Ali's peers label him a terrorist. He ends up being bullied, particularly by a guy named Mike, who never misses a chance to insult and humiliate him. After school one day, Ali walks by a restaurant where his classmate Christy is working. Right then, she's lending a hand to her mom with the business. The next morning, Ali's uncle gets his lunch ready for school. When Mike and his friends joke about the food, Ali just tosses it out, feeling pretty embarrassed. Ali's experience with racism goes beyond just school. His uncle, Hafez, faces prejudice in their neighborhood too. Some folks view him as a threat just because he's Iranian, so they tend to steer clear of him. So Hafez's workshop ends up losing customers, and he finds himself cut off from the community. At school, Ali is trying to fit in by getting involved in extracurricular activities. He thinks about joining the football team, but decides against it when he learns Mike is on the team. He considers joining the basketball team, but he feels like he doesn't quite fit in there either. One day, as Ali is checking out the trophies his school has won in different sports, Mike intentionally bumps into him, causing him to fall down. So the two start fighting, and then Mr. Skinner, the principal, jumps in to break it up. He tells Ali right then to stop causing trouble or he might get kicked out. After school, Ali spots Christy getting a talking to from her mom for not passing a test. On top of that, her mom is threatening to sell her car as a punishment. Ali sees that Christy is struggling and decides to lend a hand with her studying. Since he's a good student, he thinks he can help her boost her grades. Out of the blue, Christy says yes, feeling thankful for his kindness. That evening, Ali heads over to the school gym for a wrestling tournament. He checks out his school's wrestling team in action and gets really into the sport. Watching the wrestlers in action, Ali gets a rush of excitement and decides he wants to join the team. The next day, Mr. Skinner chats with the wrestling coach, Plyler, and asks him to boost the team's performance. He tells Plyler not to let Ali join the team if he asks. Later, Ali goes up to Coach Plyler during practice and shares that he wants to join the wrestling team. But Plyler says no, they're not taking in new members. But Ali keeps going. He's always trying to get the coach to give him a shot, really wanting to show what he can do. Coach Plyler, noticing his determination, finally decides to give him a shot. He asks Ali to go up against one of the team's wrestlers, a kid named Jimmy. So it turns out Ali has zero wrestling experience, which is why Jimmy just dominates him in the match. Out of the blue, Jimmy says that Ali is really tough and never backs down. Coach Plyler, impressed by Ali's spirit, lets him join the wrestling team and even gives him a team jersey. So Ali's feeling proud and hopeful as he makes his way home, eager to share the news with his uncle. When Ali gets home, he's surprised to find his uncle, Hafez, in a sharp suit. Hafez shares some tough news. He's having a tough time with money and can't keep Ali around anymore. Since there's no other choice, he tells Ali he's going to send him back to Iran and asks him to start packing up his stuff. Feeling heartbroken, Ali heads to his room, lost and sad. Hafez, feeling guilty, trails behind and discovers Ali on his bed, clutching the wrestling jersey Coach Plyler gave him. Hafez asks about the jersey, and Ali tells him he's joined the school wrestling team. After hearing this, Hafez decides not to send Ali back to Iran. He chooses to back his nephew and help him become an awesome wrestler, so no one will ever look down on him again. So it turns out Hafez used to be a pro wrestler and has actually won a bunch of tournaments before. A few days later at school, Coach Plyler starts showing Ali the basics of wrestling. Hafez is also helping Ali build his strength at home. He hands Ali a traditional Persian exercise tool called a meal and suggests he swing it 100 times a day to build up his arm strength. After his training sessions, Ali grabs a bite with Christy at the restaurant to help her study. At first, they feel a bit awkward around each other, but they quickly warm up and become good friends. As time goes by, Ali and the wrestling team get ready for an inter-school wrestling tournament. Ali is in the 126-kilogram weight class, and Hafez is there to cheer him on. Ali has a tough time at the start of the match. His opponent keeps knocking him down and the crowd is shouting harsh, racist comments at him. Even so, Hafez cheers Ali on from the sidelines, reminding him to focus and not to quit. With his uncle cheering him on, Ali picks himself up and fights even harder, ultimately clinching the win. So, Hafez, Coach Plyler, and Ali's teammates are all cheering loudly for his win. After the match, Principal Skinner pulls Coach Plyler aside. Ali might have won, but Skinner isn't too thrilled about him being on the team. He's concerned that Ali winning could annoy the crowd and lead to issues. But Coach Plyler brushes off Skinner's worries since, among all the wrestlers, Ali is the only one who came out on top in his match. Since that day, Ali has been training even harder. He's working on new wrestling techniques and focusing on getting stronger. His hard work is really paying off, and he keeps winning every tournament he enters. Later on, Jimmy and the other wrestlers surprise Ali with a team jacket, showing that they now accept him as one of their own. Christy's grades are getting better, all thanks to Ali helping her out with her studies. Ali, Christy, and their friends decide to celebrate their wins by sneaking into a private pool at someone's house for a little fun. So there they are, swimming and having a blast, when suddenly the house owner shows up and starts chasing them off. Everyone gets out except for Ali and Christy, who are still in the pool. Fortunately, the owner heads out just before spotting them, and the two slip away, chuckling about their near miss. Next, we meet a young guy named Roman, who's the current champ of the high school wrestling scene. So, Roman's heard about Ali's amazing winning streak in those inter-school wrestling tournaments. Since no one has really come close to Roman's record, he feels a bit threatened by Ali's success. Roman is set on proving himself, so he's going to challenge Ali in the next tournament. First, he has to shed some weight to compete in Ali's weight class of 126 kilograms. Shortly after, right before a match, Coach Plyler advises Ali to stay out of sight on the sidelines since the crowd has been making racist remarks about him. While hiding, Ali accidentally hears Christy chatting with her friend, Wendy. Wendy asks Christy if she's seeing Ali, but Christy says no. Ali was shocked when Christy even made some racist comments about him, feeling hurt and angry. Ali puts all his emotions into the match. He takes down his opponent in just a few seconds, leaving everyone shocked. Even Principal Skinner, who's had his doubts about Ali, gets up and gives a round of applause for his amazing performance. After the tournament, Roman meets Ali in the locker room and gives him a warning, letting him know that their next match is going to be tough. When Ali gets home, he shares with his uncle, Hafez, what Roman threatened. So, to get ready for the match, Hafez and Ali are checking out recordings of Roman's previous wrestling tournaments. After looking closely at the footage, Hafez finds Roman's weak spot, his balance. Hafez teaches Ali some cool locking techniques to use against Roman in the match. But Ali's feeling a bit uncertain about himself. He's getting ready to take on the undefeated high school wrestling champ, and the pressure is intense. Noticing Ali's fear, Hafez shares some advice with him. He tells Ali that he won't ever be the best if he lets fear take over. Hafez asks Ali if there's anyone he's still scared of, someone who makes him question himself. The next day at school, Ali chooses to take his uncle's advice and face the person who's always made him feel uneasy, Mike. When Ali gets close to Mike, Christy steps in and asks him why he's been avoiding her. Ali responds by saying he heard her chat with Wendy and felt really hurt by what she said. Once Ali says this, she turns and heads straight to Mike. Ali stands up to Mike in front of everyone and fights back, finally overcoming his fear. But then, Principal Skinner shows up and stops the fight. Once Skinner finds out that Ali was the one who started it, he has to kick Ali off the school wrestling team. So, Ali can't compete in the upcoming tournament anymore. So, Coach Plyler is stopping by Hafez's place. He shares with Hafez how impressed he is by Ali's wrestling skills and asks Hafez if he'd like to be his assistant coach. Plyler thinks Hafez's techniques could really boost the school's wrestling team to greatness. Hafez agrees right away. The next day, Hafez begins training the team with Plyler, while Ali watches from the sidelines, feeling lost and frustrated after getting kicked off the team. Later, as Ali strolls down the school hallway, Christy rushes after him, eager to explain. She explains to Ali that she only said those hurtful things because she was trying to avoid being teased by her friends. But now Christy really doesn't care what anyone thinks. She really cares about Ali. Christy kisses Ali in front of everyone, leaving the students around them in shock. So, Christy finally tells Ali that she loves him and is done hiding it. Once Ali and Christy patch things up, Ali rushed over to the principal's office to request another shot at rejoining the wrestling team. Initially, Principal Skinner says no to Ali's request, but Ali keeps going. He shows the principal the key his mom gave him, which he thinks is his lucky charm. He talks about how this key has kept him strong during all his struggles. Ali shares the struggles he went through in Iran and asks the principal for a chance to show what he can do. He says he'll make the school proud. After hearing Ali's heartfelt plea, Principal Skinner finally decides to let him back on the team. In the upcoming wrestling tournament, Ali won't be the only one who does well. His teammates do really well too. Big thanks to Coach Plyler and Hafez for their training and guidance. Our whole team made it to the final round. That evening, Ali and his friends are getting together to celebrate their wins. Ali is thinking about inviting his uncle to the celebration, but Hafez says no and chooses to go home instead. Sadly, on his way home, Hafez gets into a deadly car accident. Ali is heartbroken over the sudden death, losing the only family he had in California, along with his best friend and coach. It's finally the day of the wrestling tournament's final round, and Ali is ready to take on Roman, the defending champion. So it turns out that all of Ali's teammates who reached the finals have already lost their matches. Looks like Ali is the school's last hope now. Before the match starts, Coach Plyler gives Ali a pep talk, reminding him to keep his focus and fight for the win his uncle always knew he could get. The match kicks off and Ali has a tough time in the first round. Roman is on fire, knocking Ali down over and over while racking up way more points. In the second round, Roman fouls, losing points and giving Ali a better shot to catch up. When Roman knocks Ali down again, Ali struggles to get back up. As he looks at the empty seat beside Coach Plyler, the one meant for Hafez, Ali feels a rush of determination. He recalls the locking techniques Hafez showed him and applies them one at a time. Ali slowly turns the match around, making a dramatic comeback to defeat Roman. The crowd goes wild as Ali takes home the gold medal. He not only makes his school proud, but also gets a full scholarship to keep going with his education at college. The movie wraps up with Ali and Christy at Hafez's grave. Before heading home, Ali sets his victory medal against Roman on his uncle's grave.